Welcome to Project Gut's Ecosystem. This is meant to be a short guide on how to add a competitor species to your ecosystem's project. First, it's important to remix the project, give it a new name, and save it so that if you want to compare the results of experiments on your old model and your new model, you'll have both available. To add a new breed, you want to go to the Edit Breeds button and choose Add a Breed. And I decided to add a tumbleweed as a competitor to the grass. I don't need to give my tumbleweed a trait, so I'll just close that button. Once I've added the tumbleweed, get a new tab to give that tumbleweed behaviors. But first, I need to create it in the setup. So what I've done is detach and then copy the grass procedure, and now I need to change it for tumbleweeds. So first I create tumbleweeds, and you can see that I've changed the shape, the color, and made my tumbleweeds just a little bit bigger than my grass. You want to carefully place this create below the previous one and above the mountain lion rather than inside another create button. So now that we have created tumbleweeds, let's save and run our code and make sure that we see some red tumbleweeds appearing on Spaceland. We do. So we're successful so far. The easiest way to give our tumbleweeds some behaviors is to go to the grass screen, copy the sprout procedure back to the tumbleweed page, and paste it on the tumbleweed page. We need to be sure to change the name so that we're not confused. Let's change it to grow. And then we can't forget to call the procedure by getting a while forever toggle out of the interface drawer, and then a call from the procedure drawer, and be sure to call our grow procedure. Now we need to think about how the tumbleweeds behave differently from the grass. So let me change the frequency of sprouting to make the tumbleweeds grow twice as fast as the grass. Once we've given the tumbleweeds the grow procedure, we want to come up, save, run code, and see whether our tumbleweeds actually are appearing to grow. And if we zoom in, we can see some tumbleweeds sprouting right there. So we have created tumbleweeds and given them a behavior slightly different from the grass, but we're not finished yet. We need to let the rabbits eat the tumbleweeds. So I've copied the collision with the grass on the rabbits page, and I need to change it to a collision with tumbleweeds. And then I've given the rabbits a little less energy when they eat a tumbleweed than when they eat a grass. Next, we want to perhaps have the tumbleweeds collide with the grass. If the tumbleweed collides with the grass, then it will delete the grass or crowd it out. So we want it to delete the agent colliding. And again, saving and running our code and checking that the behavior is working. Finally, we want to be sure to add tumbleweeds to our graph. So by clicking first the Edit Widgets button and then the Add Series, you can create a series for the tumbleweeds, naming it and giving it a color. Then be sure to add the code to make the graph work on the world page. So you can see that I've copied the add data to line graph for the grass. I need to change it to tumbleweeds and have it count the tumbleweeds within 150 steps. And I'll put that inside my forever procedure. Save your project, run your code, set up, and see how adding a competitive species to your grass changes the behavior of your ecosystem. If you want to change your ecosystem instead by adding a competitor, you would follow a pretty similar procedure. You would use the Edit Breeds button to add a new breed. Let's say you wanted to add a coyote as an intermediate predator and so increase the trophic levels of your ecosystem. You would add the coyote, and this time you would want to give the coyote a trait of coyote energy. Then you would follow the same process that we followed before, going to the world screen and copying a procedure, this time probably the mountain lion, to create a coyote, giving it traits including a random amount of energy, probably somewhere between the mountain lion and the rabbit energy. Then you would go to the mountain lion page, copy the procedures for moving, reproducing, and dying onto the coyote page and changing the behaviors so that it is a realistic intermediate predator. You would want to be sure to have the coyote eat the rabbits, but also have the mountain lion eat the coyotes. As a last step, you would want to add a new series to your graph, perhaps for both the mountain lions and the coyotes, and you would want to add the relevant blocks to have the line graph count your new species. Good luck with adding a new trophic level to your ecosystem's model. I get a new